I mean, this is the shortest film to have come out, the MCU. I was wondering, because the films, despite each being original kind of in their own right, they follow a kind of familiar structure, the kind of superhero kind of structure. I just wondered if there were any challenges in kind of fitting in and adhering to that kind of familiar structure, but within a slightly shorter time frame.
No, because we weren't trying to fit into a shorter time frame. We really just made the movie the way you make any movie, and I wanted it to be under 2 hours just because I was like, maybe I was having a bit of a rejection of like the super long run times, even though I love that when I go to a theater, but I was like, we can do this succinctly and I think in a really great way and like just have it be the most like concise and fun film. But besides that, if it were over 2 hours and it worked, it would have been over 2 hours. It was just about what made the most sense for the film. It was really just, that's kind of how we got there, I think, yeah.
And just from what I've seen so far, logistically, it seems quite complex, some of it, to film, because obviously the way they transport from different places. I just wondered about the challenges in you'll be shooting a scene which in real time will be, what we see will be one continuous fight scene. But obviously for you'll probably have to shoot it with 3 different actors, 3 different days. How was that kind of to work on this project?
It was fun, really fun. I mean, it's really straightforward. It's just really complicated and specific, but you just have to do every step in the right order and just get every piece. And so, for example, like the fight you saw, like, you know, we'd shoot with one actor during the action and the other actor during the action because they have to switch places, and then we'd have like a green screen behind them because we'd have to like get the background in because the switch effect would happen in a certain location, and then we'd do that for like every switch basically, and then we'd have the stunties come in for some of it, and so it's a lot of moving parts. But my AD was amazing, Jack Ravenscroft. We literally just, it's like, okay, these are the needs. This is what we want to see. Here's how we get to it. Here are the elements. Here are the needs, and we just do that.
I wanted to, because obviously each filmmaker will really want to bring something of themselves into the kind of MCU. I just wondered, what's your something? What makes this film a Nia DaCosta film?
Oh, it's so funny. I don't know. I mean, when I talk to the other directors, like none of them really are like, I had to put my stamp on it. You know, I think we all went in with a pitch, and whatever of ourselves was in that is what they responded to, and why they chose us for our individual film. So I really wasn't trying to like make sure my stamp was on it. Also, it's my 3rd film, so I'm still figuring out what that is. You know, like, and in a way, I do such different films. I don't know if I necessarily want to have like this is my look, this is my tone, this is my this. You know, I want to kind of serve the story. But it's impossible for you not to be in the film, you know, as a director and as a co-writer, you know. So there are things in there that I really am like, oh yeah, that feels like me, which I really like.
Because I was reading that Ryan Coogler gave you some advice to just be yourself. Yeah. But when you're on a kind of set like this, a kind of huge, big machine and a shoot where there's so many moving parts, is that something you actually have to remind yourself at times?
You know, I didn't have to remind myself in those moments because you don't have time to do anything else but be yourself. You don't have the capacity to fake it. You don't have the bandwidth for tomfoolery. You're just like yourself. You ask for what you want. You have a good time with the crew, and that's that.
And how was it directing within the MCU? I mean, was there a kind of give and take in regards to kind of staying true to your own voice and implementing your own style? Because there are the kind of rules of the universe, and it has to interconnect with all the other kind of stories. And I just wondered about establishing your voice and having your own style within it, and at the same time making something that is familiar and captures the kind of essence of what's come before in this world.
Yeah, it is a negotiation, I think, but also because Marvel's done it so many times, and they consistently bring in directors who are from a more independent background or have a very distinctive style. Like, they're used to also navigating that creative conversation. So you really just put your trust into the process that they've set out, and that back and forth, and then eventually you get to the movie.
And obviously, and often in kind of the superhero films, there might just be one kind of lead, but you've kind of you're blessed to have 3 on this occasion. Can you just talk about the kind of working with the 3 different actors on this and what they kind of bring to the respective roles?
Oh, for sure, yeah. Well, Brie brought her experience. Like she'd done it before. She had her whole movie that she carried with Sam Jackson before, and so she really knew what the process would be like. And then Iman did Miss Marvel, and she's like so similar to that character in terms of her being like the youngest and being such a nerd and loving Marvel and like superheroes and all that stuff. And then Teyonah, is just who I'd worked with before, is just like so warm and funny and also really, really specific and engaged in like, okay, like how exactly is this going to work? How's that going to work? What exactly is that? And so the 3 of them together in a way like mirrored their characters, but also brought such a great energy to set, so it just ended up being a really kind of warm and fun environment.
You got to direct Samuel L. Jackson. That must have been pretty cool.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
But I realised when I said there's 3 leads, I'm doing a disservice to the cat as well, actually. It's kind of full.
Oh, Goose, yeah.
But I mean, in this film, my final question, there's so many kind of firsts and kind of milestones in it. You're the youngest director, you're the first black female director. We've got our first Muslim superhero as well in this. When it comes to these kind of milestones and the kind of responsibilities that come with it, do you ever kind of think about them, or do you almost have to just ignore that and just kind of focus on the job at hand?
Yeah, I don't really think about them, nor do I have to like push them away. It just, I hear it, I'm like, oh, cool, and then it goes off, because that's not really for me. It's for, I think, other people for whom that's really meaningful. Because to be that person, like what I'm actually doing is making a movie, and I just happen to embody those things. But the day to day, I'm just trying to survive, you know. So it's cool, but I'm also excited that hopefully with me, there's going to be more women, black women, more young people like making these films. I think that's sort of what I can most hope for.
Well, I love what I've seen so far, so I can't wait to see. I'm seeing the rest of it on the 8th of November. So
great.
Now.
Oh, it's my birthday. Wonderful.
Oh, happy birthday for the 8th.
Thanks
so much. Cheers.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys.
Hey, you guys!
Hey, you guys!
Hey, that's what they all say.
Hey, you guys!
Hey, you guys!